I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel, but I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for.
I'm uploading this video June 14th, 2014. It's been exactly 1 year since The Last of Us was released for the PS3. By the time I'd played through the game and wanted to do a review on it, there was no point. There was already dozens of reviews from different well-known channels all over YouTube. I'm just a small channel with not even 1,000 subscribers. It seemed pointless to put up a review video. Now I've beaten the game twice and I'm on my third playthrough. I also have played almost 50 hours online. Of course, there are people out there that have played The Last of Us more than me, but after a while I came to a realization. It doesn't matter if I get 10 views or 10,000 views on my Last of Us video. The video you're going to be watching is not really your standard review. I want to upload this video because, if for nothing else, to document my experience and how The Last of Us impacted me. First, I guess I should address the things that every other review has already said. The graphics of The Last of Us is amazing. It's lifelike. The combat in this game is also fantastic, yet terrifying. Human enemies will try to flank you. They use tactics to kill you. Whether you're punching them to death, shooting them, or smashing their head against a wall, the whole thing is incredibly lifelike and brutal. Combat with the infected is even scarier. Runners are the first stages of infected. They look like humans, but have lost all control. They are extremely fast and aggressive, and oftentimes you'll find yourself swarmed and outnumbered. If you walk up on an unsuspecting runner, while they're just sitting there, you can hear them moaning and crying due to the pain of the fungus that has infected them. Even scarier than runners are the second stage of infected, called stalkers. They're like runners, but they hide from you and try to ambush you. The third stage of infected, clickers, are in my opinion the worst. The fungus has grown over their faces so they can't see anything. In order to find you, they make a clicking noise, sort of like the echolocation that bats use. They're hard to kill. They're very fast, very aggressive, and if they get close enough to you, they're very deadly. The fourth and final stage of infected is bloaters. They're pretty much walking tanks and can throw spores at you. They're very hard to kill, but luckily they're also really rare. The music in The Last of Us is also fantastic. It matches the game perfectly and really sets a tone.
Hey,
better than the music is the lack of music. Some scenes where it's totally silent, it creates a lot of tension and makes this game even more intense. But my favorite part of the game is the characters and the story they tell. Joel is the perfect main character. He's everything you'd expect from someone living in the apocalypse. He's rough, tough, no nonsense, and brutal. He gets things done and takes out anyone in the way. But things really start to change when you meet Ellie. At the beginning of the game, you see a different side of Joel, the emotional, attached side of him. This side disappears when his daughter dies and the apocalypse sets in. He hardens.
No, please. Please don't.
But you see this side of him again when he starts bonding with Ellie.
Drag going through.
Here, I got it.
Don't think I ever told you, but Sarah and I used to take hikes like this. I think the two of you would have been good friends. I think you really would have liked her. I know she'd have liked you.
I bet I would have.
It's hard to describe how The Last of Us makes me feel. To me, The Last of Us is honestly just not another video game. The bond between Ellie and Joel is really a pretty complex relationship. At the beginning, It's just another job for Joel. But then Tess dies, and now Joel is forced to carry on and bring Ellie to the Fireflies. Needless to say, Joel and Ellie spend a lot of time with each other throughout their journey. They save each other's lives many times and end up relying on each other for survival. Joel gets to know Ellie, and she gets to know Joel. Joel ends up treating Ellie like his own daughter, who died over 20 years ago. And Ellie treats Joel like the dad she doesn't have, but so desperately needs. Ellie comes off as a hard-talking, rough-acting, rude girl in the beginning, just a teenage punk. But I learned throughout the game that there is so much more to her. She is by far my favorite character out of any video game I've ever played.
You know that, right?
What's the other option?
Go back to Tommy's. Just be done with this whole damn thing.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
The Last of Us really shows the struggle between life and death. Every decision you make could mean the end of your life and Ellie's. The Last of Us really sets a new standard for the video game industry. Never before have I seen this much character development or good storytelling in most movies, let alone a video game. And everything is a struggle in this game, as if you were really in the apocalypse. Every time you kill another human, it's almost hard to do so. Even though they are trying to kill you, you're living in a world where 90% of the human population is already dead or infected. Other humans are scarce, and you are murdering the other survivors instead of focusing on killing off the infected. It feels like a waste of life. Also, it's hard to find ammo. Like really, really hard. I think this part is really realistic because in real life, there wouldn't be ammo laying around everywhere, and you would have to search a lot for it. The Last of Us brings out a lot of emotions. The part that was hardest for me was the hospital scene. When you enter the operating room, the doctors are doing surgery on Ellie. Reality sets in. No matter what you do, you have to kill the brain surgeon. You have no choice. You can do it right away or sit there for 5 minutes, and you end up having to do it if you want to continue with the game. To me, this was horrifying, but at the same time, it makes sense. By this point in the game, Joel will do anything to save Ellie, even if it means dooming the rest of the world, because Ellie is his world. His daughter is dead, Tess is dead. Ellie is honestly the only thing that keeps him going, the only thing he has to live for. The Last of Us is filled with tons of amazing cinematic moments that make you realize how beautiful the game really is. The Last of Us is a game that made me cry, made me scream in terror, frustrated me, and made me happier than anything else, all at the same time.
Feeling.
It's all right. Come here. Hey. Hurry up. Go on.
Hey there. So fucking cool.
The ending of The Last of Us was easily the best and worst part of the game. It was bittersweet, because it ends on a lie. It ends with Joel lying to Ellie, but at the same time, she knows he is lying and accepts it. We all imagine the ending where they ride off into the sunset, going on to happier and better days, but that's not the way it is. That would be too perfect. The ending matches the game perfectly.
All right, come on.
Hey, wait. Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there, and she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
Oh, you don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
Overall, The Last of Us is easily the best video game I've ever played in my life, and Ellie is by far my favorite character out of every video game I've ever played. This is a game I will never forget, along with the millions of other people that bought it. Naughty Dog has created a true masterpiece of a game, and its name is The Last of Us.